So literally, no one learns to write effectively without learning the basic elements of writing. So for today, we're going to talk about the patterns of development in writing across disciplines. The logical arrangement of ideas is known as the pattern of development. So when we're talking about the logical arrangement of ideas, it means that you have the ideas that group together and each group is discussed accordingly. So, again, you already collected the number of ideas or collected numerous ideas, and you're going to group that together and you're going to discuss it accordingly. So, they may be introduced in order of importance or in some order that makes sense to the reader. On the other way around, we have the pattern of development. So, when we're talking about the pattern of development, it means or it refers to a particular strategy writers use to develop ideas. So after you already collected the ideas, you're going to use a strategy on how are you going to develop the collected ideas. So we have here different patterns for you to be able to use it on how to write. First one, development by narration. So, when we're talking about development by narration, it is a narrative paragraph which is the most difficult to write compared to the other types of paragraph. Similar to a descriptive paragraph, a narration is also spiced up with picture words so that it will not only appeal to the emotion of the reader but also to the intellect. Its events must be arranged according to the order of time or chronological order and should be related. And also, when you are going to write or to tell a story, you should narrate only the facts. You should not give opinions. The essential facts must be given in the first one or two head paragraphs, while the subsequent paragraphs must be given the greater details of the story. So when we're talking about the narration, it only means that you are telling a story. So if you're going to tell a story, you have your elements of the story. So in elements of the story, you have your character, your setting, the plot, the conflict, and the resolution. So it gives an account to an incident or a series of events, and it states what happened, where it happened, and when it happened. For example, if you're going to tell a story like writing an essay, you have your first paragraph, which is the introduction, second paragraph is the body, and the third paragraph is the conclusion. On the first paragraph, you're going to let the readers know who and when and where the specific situation happened. For example, you're going to introduce the characters, the setting of the story. After that one, on the second paragraph, you're going to introduce what is the main conflict or main problem that the characters are facing all throughout the story. After that, on the conclusion, you are going to provide what are the possible solution to the problem or the conflict that the characters are facing. So we have here key points for you as a guide in writing using a narrative method. So first, you must know what to write, because if you're not knowledgeable enough on what are the things that you wanted to write, so it means it is really difficult for you to start writing. Second, develop a strong topic sentence. So if you're going to write an essay, you must use a topic sentence and make sure that the topic sentence na pinili mo is effective in illustrating a point. Next, choose your materials. So these materials are events that you should consider in your narration. So your choice would be depending on your purpose in writing. Iba-iba kasi yung yung dahilan ng mga writers on writing. Like, ano yung reason bakit yan nagsusulat. So, for you to be able to choose your materials, you must also know what is your purpose in writing. Next, organize the event. So, after you already collected your ideas, the reader should be able to clearly picture in their minds the sequence of events as they happen, as they are narrated. Imposible naman kasing, for example, may sunog. Imposible naman kasing naapula na yung apoy bago magsimula ang sunog. So, clearly, you must show what is the beginning, the middle, and the ending of your narrative. Next, consider your audience. So, think what is the needed information para maintindihan ng mga audience ang story or ang essay na ibinibigay mo. So, focus on their needs. Fourth, you also have use dialogue. So, the use of dialogue will result to a more exciting narrative and a more sustained attention and interest of the audience. Next, use figurative language. So, this will be one of the most important key points because this will give your narration more depth and result to your readers or audience satisfaction. Kasi, if you're going to put a figurative language, it will spice up to your essay or your story. Yes, next, use narrative details. So, the use of detailed action or pictures enable the readers to grasp and see what is happening in the narration. Yung kapag sinabi mong narrative details, it means na isinasalaysay mo kung ano yung mga pangyayari para ma-picture out ng mga readers kung ano yung talagang nangyayari. So, second, we have the development by description. So, if we're talking about development by description, it simply means that description is the most commonly used method of writing a paragraph. So, its purpose is to present an image or picture. So, from this method, the writer should be able to draw things clearly in the minds of the readers by the use of the adjectives, so that the readers will be able to imagine what the writer has seen, felt, or has experienced. In order to be effective, a paragraph or description must show a careful selection of ideas, an accurate choice of words, and logical order of details. The manner of expression using this style may vary, though generally it follows the pattern of statement, explanation, and example. So, kapag sinabi naman nating description, it tells what someone or something is like. So, simple. Kapag gumagamit ka ng pattern na development na description, it means na you are going to use the senses of the five senses of the readers. Kapag binasa nila yung sinulat mo, it means na mapipicture out nila kung ano ba yung amoy, ano ba yung mukha, ano ba yung lasa, at ano yung itsura. Simple. So, if you're going to use this one, you must follow the pattern of statement. For example, you are going to start with the statement, the explanation, and also the example. So, ganyan ang susundin mo. Also, how are we going to write a pattern by description? So, choose a topic, create a statement, you create an outline, then review your essay. For example, above, across, adjacent, against, along, alongside, amidst, beside, around, away from, back of, behind, below, beneath, between, beyond, by, down. So, if you're going to use this one, clearly na maiintindihan na ng readers na kung nasa nakalagay. So, those are under description. So, next, we also have definition. So, in definition, it gives a satisfactory explanation of the meaning of a word and may point out a special limitations of its meaning. So development by definition is very important, especially in doing scientific research or preparing term papers. So, in definition, it explains a concept or term. So, a term, concept, or subject to be defined, bibigyan lang niya ng definition. So, the general ideas or class to which it belongs. For example, the word definition means, so it simply means na you are using a single word na means. So, that will be under your definition. So, after that one, we also have definition by compare and contrast. So, simple. You are here using the comparison and comparison in which So here, the next one will be definition by compare and contrast. So here you are going to compare means explaining how things is similar to another, and contrast, which you are going to explain the difference between the two. So in this type of development, it shows a person or an animal or a thing mentioned in the topic sentence resembles or differs from someone or something. So it's simple. You're going to show the similarities and differences of the two. For example, in comparing, you have the signal words also as both, equally, similar, fashion, in comparison, and so on. On the other one, you also have signal words for contrasting. We have here although and yet, but, despite of, instead, however, nevertheless, nonetheless, unlike, yet, and so on. So, we also have development by classifications. So, it means in any act of noting relationship. So, you are going to classify it according to its relationship. So, it organizes ideas into categories or divisions based on the criteria and standards. Technically, it is the act of locating, or it is the act of locating a specimen of all the different kinds of objects which possess a given characteristic. So, for example, here, you're going to sort or arrange subjects into groups or categories. So, for example, ang bird. For example, you have the animals. There are many kinds of animals. So, you are going to sort that one according to their classification. So, for example, you are going to have signal words for classification and division, which are another kind classified as final type, one kind, and so on. Next, development by cause and effect. So simple. Cause is the reason, the effect is it's the reason and kung anong yung nangyari. Yung cause is ano yung dahilan, and yung reason is ano yung bunga. So in the development by cause and effect, the writer explains how certain causes produce results or effects. So this pattern may discuss both the causes and effects, and causes only, or the effects only. So we have a graphic organizer that can be used as follows. So we may use single cause and multiple effects. Here you already see na naamoy one cause and you have 1, 2, 3 effects. So it means you have single cause and multiple effects. On the other way around, you also have single effect, which is this, and multiple causes, and which are this. So after the multiple and single cause and effect, we also have simple causes and multiple effects. So one cause, one effect, another cause, another effect, and so on and so forth. So we also have alternating cause and effect, alternating causes, effects in a chain or domino effect. After ng isang cause, you have your effect. Then after ng effect na yan, meron na namang another cause that will result into another effect. So that means you have your domino effect. So you have your signal words for causes, and you have also your signal effect words for effects. Alright, so that will be all. Thank you.